All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Today we have retail sales today. Tomorrow the market is closed. Retail sales expected at 0.2% this morning. We got Nvidia popping up some more. Not really around lifetime highs though. It's hard to see where the lifetime highs are because this candle was like weird. Let's see if I can correct it. I could just remove this bar, but then I don't know where. Let me see. This candle's definitely wrong here, but it's hard to figure out where Nvidia really should be. What do you guys see? Do y'all have another platform? Let's take a look at Yahoo Finance. That's probably the way to look. Let me get some music going here too. What's up, Pawn, Jay, Alyssa, Bo? What's up, guys? Yeah, so I'm looking at Nvidia. I want to see what the lifetime highs are on Nvidia. It's hard to tell now because of that weird candle that showed up. It looks like we're around lifetime highs still now. Let's pull up an advanced chart. I do like Yahoo Finance's chart. I'd rather a candlestick pattern here, though. Let me see. Also, where do I... Oh, there it is. Okay. 1 month. Yeah, so it looks like yesterday we hit lifetime highs at around 131.80s. So it looks like yesterday's candle was the lifetime high. So, oh, this might be delayed, I guess, then actually, because this is wrong too. Because it looks like yesterday in pre-market Nvidia got up to 133.60s. Is Yahoo Finance delayed unless you upgrade? Let me put a daily chart up. Yeah, because on finance it says 131.85, so the high yesterday, which was the 14th. Okay, so yeah, this is delayed. Well, but now we know that this wasn't a high, so yeah, lifetime highs are now 133.67 for Nvidia. We're sitting right around 131s, 132s. Remember, I bought Tesla yesterday. So you guys remember I bought Tesla yesterday. That's treated me very good. That's treated me very good. Tesla bounced a lot. I had a really nice green day yesterday. What's up for Sofi? Sofi's up. Looks like I've been down on SoFi. I'm almost. Let me see. Yeah, SoFi's down. Actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, Pawn. I'm gonna pull up Discord, brother. Oof. All right. Is it at a 52-week low? It is. Yeah, I just don't like. I've said this before. SoFi's a mid-cap stock. It's certainly not guaranteed. Like it's certainly not a certainty. Is the risk there? We'll put a timer up. We got retail sales data today. That drops in about an hour, and about an hour and 50 minutes is what this is. So Yeah. So we have about 2 hours until retail sales data comes out. Is it a good time to buy SoFi? I don't know enough about SoFi. Like, let me ask AI. So SoFi is social finance. Yeah, so I've heard about this one. It's a financial tech company that provides a range of financial products and lending services. It does student loan refinancing. It offers student loan refinancing, allowing borrowers to consolidate and refinance their student loans at lower interest rates. It allows personal loans and home loans. It does SoFi Money, a cash management account offering features like spending, saving, and earning interest with no account fees. It does SoFi checking and saving, so it's traditional banking with competitive interest rates, no account fees, and access to large ATMs. ATM network. It does investing, so it offers options for active investing in stocks, ETFs, and crypto, retirement accounts, individual retirement accounts, IRAs, long-term, credit cards, insurance, financial planning, education. So I mean, I don't know. I think with something like SoFi right now, whether you want to buy it up is going to depend a lot on its revenue, right? So let's take a look at the revenue graph for SoFi here. Let's see what's up with them. So revenue looks good. I mean, the trend is nice for SoFi. Consistently moving revenue. When we look at their growth, though, their growth is decreasing, but their revenue is increasing, which means they're spending more. Oh, what did I click? I clicked an ad. Oh no. Go away. But yeah, so it means they're spending more. Let's take a look at what their EPS graph looks like here. So we're at macro trends. 2 cents, 4 cents, 29 cents. I mean, okay. This is what you have to ask yourself here. Like, this is nice. Like, good revenue. The margins aren't great. Meaning, one thing that I'm seeing here is that they did recently make strides, and the last 2 quarters have been profitable, slightly profits, right? And that's great, right? That's great. I think the question mark you have to ask yourself here with all this stuff is, how profitable can a company like SoFi be in general? What I mean by that is, like, okay, when you look at what SoFi is offering, when you look at what they're doing, right? And I'm in SoFi, just to put this into perspective. I'm holding SoFi. My average price is 740s. I'm in, a decent amount of shares. It's not a huge position. I never risk like excessive amounts in anything, ever. I never risk excessive amounts in anything ever. But I'm in it. I want it to go up. The question you have to ask yourself, I think, is how profitable? How scalable is the profits of SoFi? Like, if they're refinancing student loans, the first thing I immediately think of when I hear that a company like so, and I knew they were doing this already, but the first thing I immediately think about is how profitable can that be? I don't think it can be very profitable. Student loans are incredibly rigid loans where, if you allow people to refinance those loans and then get off scot-free in some of those things, I think a certain amount of people are just never going to pay them. They're going to just go into debt, and they're gonna just they're just going to hit their credit and not worry about it, And so I think the amount of people following through with repaying these loans can be risky for a business like SoFi, for sure, can be risky. The other things seem to be profitable, like loans, home loans. Just like everything else, we're at a period of high interest rates currently. Not high, but above average over the last 20 years for sure in terms of interest rates. So we're in a period of higher interest rates. And so, those businesses probably aren't doing great right now, but that might change if rate cuts happen and rates start to go down. Cash management service, checking accounts. I don't know how many people are actually using SoFi checking accounts. Maybe investing, credit cards. Everything else is fine. But I think their big business, where they're going to get a lot of people, is people wanting to refinance their student loans. Because again, student loans are one of the only loans that are not forgivable. That you have to pay. It never goes away. You'll always have to pay it. And so, yeah. I think that's what you have to ask yourself. And again, I don't know. I'm in it. I hope it goes up. Hopefully there's just a dip on hopefully it's just a dip on an interest rate related dip that they start to go back up afterwards. Does today's retail sales report come in higher or lower than expected? Higher, lower, I don't know. See results. All right, so today's retail sales is expected at 0.2%. Last time it came in at 0%. So if this does come in as expected, then the question is, what does this mean? Yeah, GameStop dipped a little bit. It's at 25. Nvidia shooting up though, so Nvidia's up a good amount. It's at 131.60s. All right, so I've got some of this old music. All right, guys, so Interactive Broker set to bounce today. I do like URA for long term. Hey, what's up, Adventures? Yeah, so again, Nvidia's up there. I'm looking at the biggest stock market news stories today. Boeing lost track of up to 400 bad 737 parts may have been installed on other jets, according to a whistleblower. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm flying this year. I'm not looking forward to this at all. Interesting. I think Disney is trying to break that 102 mark. I'm in Disney. I did add to Disney here. Let's see where we're at with that one. We are green on it slightly. Oh, that's nice. We had a really green day yesterday, mostly driven by like Uber, Tesla, Snapchat, Shopify, like we bought Shopify not that long ago. We're very green there. Nike, we made a lot of money back on Nike. We were pretty red on it, and now we're almost flat. Intel, we're actually green again, which is nice. Honeywell, we're still up a lot. Home Depot, we're still up a lot. Google, we're up a lot. Gold, we're still up a good amount. You know, Apple, we're still pretty green here. Salesforce could do better. Like, we were much greener, but we already took profit on it. I travel a lot with Delta and Southwest and never feel any fear because those companies get the best in the new point. What about United? All right, Nvidia at 131.60s, AMC at 485s, Tesla at 186.90s. Yeah, I'm looking at Tesla. I mean, airline flying is still very safe, very safe, like no matter where you do it. All right, what else we got, guys? I always thought United was good. Let me see. Yeah, I always heard Southwest was kind of towards like the bottom tier, like the worst ones. Like Southwest, JetBlue were kind of like some of the worst ones, like the worst national ones. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I don't know. Like, I have an innate fear of flying. I hate flying. I don't like flying. You know, I got really excited because I was looking at ChatGPT. And ChatGPT had a GPT available that was called Video Editor. Or Video Creator, where it lets you create all these different things. I'm like, okay, great. I go to look at it, and apparently it's just creating scripts and voiceovers, which I don't want. You know? Yeah, I'm looking at the other stuff they got. I got really excited. I was like, yeah. And then I realized, There's some cool stuff, though. Like, I've still been heavily using the book one, dude. The book one is one of the most powerful ones in digesting information. Like, again, I'll show you guys again. List me some of your favorite books. What is a book? Here's a better example. What is a book that you've wanted to read lately? Preferably a business book, because I like to keep it business related. What's a business book that you've wanted to read lately, but you haven't been able to? All right, so how about we'll do this? Ray Dalio what is it called? What is it? What's it called? What's his book? Principles. What's the new one? Ray Dalio. Principles. I think it's the name of his book, right? The Psychology of Money. Okay, we can use that one. Check this out. Right, so here's GPT-4o. Okay, so this is GPT-4o. All right. List all the chapters of the book. Let me get my spelling right. Even if I spell it wrong, it'll still get it right. Okay, now watch this. List all the chapters of the book Psychology of Money. All right. This is a powerful thing that AI will do. A powerful thing. No one's crazy. Luck and risk. Never enough. Compounding. Getting wealthy. Steadily wealthy tales. So this is a fairly large amount of chapters, and so we're gonna use much shorter summaries than usually. I go with like 400 words, 300 words. Now I'm going with we'll do 200 words. Summarize the first chapter in 250 words. Watch this. All right, so it'll detail everything in the first chapter. You could digest information so fast using this. So, like, check it out. The first chapter of Psychology of Money by Morgan Howard, titled No One's Crazy, addressed how personal experiences influence financial behavior. Housel emphasizes that everyone's financial decisions are shaped by their unique life experiences and perspectives, making their actions seem rational to them, even if they appear irrational to others. He uses examples to illustrate that people from different backgrounds and eras view money and financial decisions differently. For instance, someone who grew up during a period of economic stability might approach investments with more confidence and risk-taking compared to someone who experienced significant economic hardships. This diversity in financial perspectives highlights that there's no universally correct way to handle money. Rather, individual behavior is shaped by personal history and context. The chapter challenges the notion of rationality in financial decision making, suggesting that financial success is less about intelligence and more about behavior. It underscores the idea that understanding why people make certain financial choices requires empathy and appreciation of their personal circumstances. By acknowledging these differences, he aims to foster a more nuanced understanding of financial behavior, moving away from judgment and towards a broader acceptance of diverse financial mindsets. Ultimately, No One's Crazy sets the stage for the rest of the book by arguing that financial decisions are deeply personal and subjective, shaped by an array of experiences and emotions rather than purely logical reasoning. This perspective is crucial for understanding the various financial behaviors explored in the subsequent chapters, right? So that's basically the first chapter. Boom, digest it. Already know it, right? Like, that's what the first, it makes sense, right? And so you can read every single chapter this way and finish a book that's hundreds or thousands of pages in a very short period of time. Very short period of time. Yeah, it's only because I was trying to read so fast, Smokey. You know, if you saw how fast I read that, I was reading quickly. And so when I'm, it's just my brain. I obviously know how to spell history. But if I'm reading fast like that, my brain does that sometimes. Anyways. That's the first chapter. Now I kind of want to read the rest, but it makes sense, right? Like, basically the point of that first chapter is that somebody that has experienced a market crash in which they lost 40% of their portfolio is going to be much more risk averse than someone who has only experienced bull markets, I guess is the point of that chapter. And so I think that makes sense. I think that's basically the first chapter in a nutshell. All right, guys. But like you can see, I can digest the book quickly. So like yesterday, I read like 5 books that way, right? On money and business, right? I read about 5. Like one of them had a beautiful idea, just a great idea. And honestly, this is the idea, right? I'm probably going to implement it as part of my live stream, right? I'm probably going to implement it as part of my live stream. One of the ideas is basically that every morning when I get up, we're going to do a business brainstorming session. Because I like starting side businesses. I got this one from a book called Side Hustle Bible, right, by a guy named James something. In the book, he basically said that businesses, like, he said, essentially what he said in a way is that ideas are saturated. That, like, if you just look up online, you're going to run into so many different ideas that it's going to, you know, that most of the ideas that are out there online are not good ideas necessarily. If you're talking about new businesses. And he said one of the better things you could do is try to start a new business or a new idea and grow that than just recreating an old idea is essentially what he said. And with that, he said that waking up in the morning and in the morning doing like a brainstorming session of ideas every day and then writing those ideas down, and some of them are going to be terrible, but some of them are going to be great, you know, is going to help you start businesses and start different things. And I think that was a good idea. I think that makes sense. You know, I usually am a morning person in nature. If you can't tell already, it's 5 a.m. in Texas. It's 6 a.m. in Texas right now. I've been up for an hour. I have the most energy. I have the most energy in the morning. And so if there is a time for me to do that, it's the morning. Anyways. But that's just one of the powerful parts about AI, man. It really is incredibly powerful. You know, I don't think, like, I know you can in some ways summarize the entire book in like 500 words, but I think you're going to miss out on so much information that, like, telling AI to list the chapters and then going through each chapter in depth with 200-300 words, so where you really understand what he's trying to say with each chapter. And then sometimes you could ask it to explain more about the chapter, like go into the examples they use and stuff like that, and that works really well also. All right, so Nvidia almost up to 132s. Look at Nvidia testing the highs of the day here, chat. Testing the highs of the day. We're at 132s. Broke highs just now. We're at essentially 132s right there. That's the highs of the day right here now is the new high. Right around 132. Let's see if it drags the market up. There's the SPY. SPY very flat today. We might attack choppiness leading into retail sales data. I'm sure half the people on here are now using ChatGPT to summarize books. And that's all right. There's a lot of good stuff, man. There really is. There's a lot of good stuff. Anyways, I accidentally shaved a huge part of my beard off yesterday. When I was shaving, like, I accidentally shaved a huge part of my beard off. Like, look, you see, I've got like a 5 o'clock shadow now. That's it. My wife said she likes it. She might just be lying to me. So what time do you think I should do the idea brainstorming session? I do want to do that once every day. Maybe later on in the stream. Chip stocks, I think stocks like Nvidia are up a lot, but I think there's a lot of unknown about chips right now. I think the question with chips is this: how extended are they? When you look at Nvidia's revenue, and again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. When you look at Nvidia's revenue, its revenue parallels what it was a year and a half ago prior to this run. So Nvidia has the same ratio of price to revenue, same PE ratio that it had a year and a half ago. And so people acting like Nvidia is just at some super crazy extended level on the upside versus its earnings is not true, right? It's had roughly a 60-65 PE ratio for the last few years. And the thing about this AI move is that as its price has risen, its revenue has risen with it, you know? And so as its price has gone up, its revenue has risen with it. And so now the other part of that, though, is that conventionally the PE ratio that Nvidia currently has and has had for the last year and a half is high, like is above what you usually want it to be. You know, a PE ratio of like 20, 15 is good. Nvidia's is like 60, 65. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Like Amazon, as an example, has a very high PE ratio, or it did have a very high PE ratio. There's a lot of companies where PE isn't the end-all, be-all of valuation for companies. And so the question, I think, when you look at AI is how better is this going to get? How much better is this going to get? It's already gotten a lot better in the last year and a half. I think over the next year, we're going to see Sora. We're going to see text. We're going to see video producing AI that produces videos. And I think that's very obviously coming within a year from now. That's obviously coming out soon with Sora and other competitors to Sora. And so once AI starts to produce video, is that going to cause another bull run in Nvidia and other chip stocks? I think it could. I think it could. It might not. I'm not saying it will. I think it could. And I think that when we look at AI in that way, I think you have to ask how much better is this going to get? And I think it can get a lot better. I think it can get a lot more powerful. And I think when it does, is it going to cause runs? I think it could. I'm not saying it will, but on the other end of that, you got people that just act like AI is just the most extended ever and it's just so high. Usually they've been betting that the market's going to go down, and it really hurts to look at objectively. And so they just kind of scream extended. But I think that's the worst mentality you could have here, because I think, again, maybe they're right. But I think if you're too rigid with that, you're going to miss out on one of the biggest runs, in this generation of technology. And I think it's important to recognize that, because you might be able to try it. You might want to predict the next big pullback or crash or whatever, but this might be one of the biggest runs we get in our generation of technology, because this technology really is game changing. And so I think that's the question you have to ask. And I don't know. I think it's interesting to watch for sure. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Nvidia is extended or no? Yeah, Nvidia at 132s. What's up, Alex? I think Nvidia is a little too high. Maybe. You might be right. I'm not even arguing against that. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is that, again, I'm not arguing that Nvidia is not extended on the upside. I've said before, I think the biggest catalyst that we get if the market crashes, if the market crashes, I think it's going to be from something like Nvidia having a massive dip short term and dragging everything else down with it and causing like a correction or a crash or a bear market. I think that's the biggest chance that we get something like that, is from that catalyst. I'm not saying it's going to happen, and I think there's also a lot of odds that show it might not happen, because again, I think you have to look at AI objectively. And when you look at AI objectively, you'll see a couple things. The first one is that it's completely game changing in terms of production of technology. It changes how much we can produce technology in a massive way, and it's going to cause exponential growth in that production of technology. The second thing is how much better is it going to get, and I think it's going to get a lot better, a lot easier, a lot more powerful. All of those things are going to contribute to more hype, more interest, more sales potentially for Nvidia and other chip stocks. And if we start to base a lot of our systems around AI, which is already happening, how much bigger is it going to get? I think it could get a lot bigger. And so if that's true, then Nvidia could go a lot higher. But again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't know. We're just speculating here on what the future of AI looks like. And I think it has a lot of potential. But whether it will fulfill that potential and whether prices will reflect that potential is a different story. Won't sell off that much in my opinion. Nvidia can't make enough chips. They have price control dominance for now and then future tech. Yeah, Nvidia, Tesla, GameStop, 2 stock splits each past 2 years. One of the big 7, but considering Nvidia is the #1 player in AI, I think it's too low. Human created hype is probably a rethink, but the value added to nearly all markets are real and will reflect over time. A little too rich for my blood. The only pullback we're going to get, this institution selling off. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you get some people who are just acting like AI has to fall, has to drop, has to come back down, and I don't know if it does. It could, certainly, and I think that's the scenario in which we see a market crash, is if AI turns and Nvidia, not AI, but if Nvidia turns, like if Nvidia drops to like $90 a share, $70 a share, $80 a share, I think that's going to cause a big decrease in markets short term. But I'm not sure if it can or will drop that much. We'll see. Yeah, we're very early. For sure. We're super early. Again, I play with AI every day. We're very, very early. And that's what people have to understand. I think a lot of people, I think the older generations, they are less comfortable using technology in that way, right? And this happens every generation, right? Every generation, the older people in those generations fear technology. This has happened for 1,000 years now, I'm sure, where the older people in the generation fear technology. It's certainly happening now where they're less likely to use AI. They're less likely to use it out of stubbornness, I would argue, a lot of the time, or maybe fear. And so because they fear it, they don't use it, and they don't take advantage of the growth and stocks with it. People who built carriages feared the automobile. They feared the internet. They never thought the internet, people in the 90s never thought the internet would be a big thing, and they feared that. And they said, they told Jeff Bezos, nobody will ever buy your books online, sir. And yeah. And so I think it's normal to a certain extent. I'm not judging necessarily, but and again, to give you the other side of that, even if AI is that game-changing behavior, it still doesn't mean we're not going to get a correction. We could reference 2000 and see the 2000.com crash, where a lot of companies IPO'd with ridiculous valuations from the internet, and ultimately it caused one of the longer bear markets we've had in decades. So I'm trying to go both sides. I'm trying to look at both sides objectively. So I'm not judging anybody. Well, it's definitely going to eliminate jobs for sure, right? But it's also I don't know. I'm entrepreneurial, and so I worry less about it because, one of the things I read in one of those books is that you got two different types of people. It might have been Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but he said basically you got two types of people. You got people who are naturally wired to work for somebody else and to work for another business and work for do corporate work themselves, right? And then you got people who are naturally wired to be entrepreneurial and investing. And again, I'm not saying this is true. I think this is one of the books that I read. I saw a YouTube video and this girl was talking about the best money books, and so I was kind of getting summaries of all those books and kind of digesting those books. And again, I think it's more nuanced than what I just said. I don't think I don't think just because you work for somebody else, you're programmed necessarily in that way. I think people are more complex than that. But I've always been entrepreneurial, and so I'm not as concerned about AI as other people because I'm not worried about working for somebody else. The real thing is, how is it going to affect the economy with the job shifts from it? And I don't know. I think people still need to work and need jobs, and so our future kids will all learn coding. I don't necessarily think that's true. As a programmer myself, I don't necessarily think that's true, I learned JavaScript, React Native, Python, and now I don't need to know any of it to build what I wanted to build when I learned it. I learned it so I could learn to build mobile applications and websites and stuff like that with React, right? But now I don't need to know it to build those things with React and React Native. Like, I can go like this. Like, look. Again, you want to know AI. What Android app that helps people pick what to eat for by analyzing the restaurants in their area using Google Maps. All right, so again, build me a React Native app. So the point I'm trying to make with this is that I don't think you need to learn code anymore. It'll walk you through it. You could ask it to walk you through the steps of building it as well. So here's the code. You know. So I don't think you need to learn code anymore like that. I don't think anybody does. I think AI is going to make it unnecessary too. This is not production ready and we're bound to crash on scale. Sure, right. It's going to be like spaghetti code and stuff. So yeah, it's not going to be perfect. Like, I'm not arguing with you there. And so you're always going to need programmers. Sure. Yeah, specialized is what it'll be. So like specialized is what you need. I don't know, man. I've tried to use coding with, granted, I know some code, but I don't PineScript, like TradingView code. I've had it build TradingView codes, and if I take a picture of the error message that it gives me and send it to the AI system, it'll correct it. It'll say, oh, I see what I did wrong. I just fixed that for you. It might take a couple tries, so it might not fix everything perfectly first try. Like, you might have to resend it and resend it and resend it, but eventually it'll fix the code and it'll work as long as you query it correctly. So, yeah. Ever looked into government grants for entrepreneurship? Andrew Cartwell has a YouTube channel on it. No, I haven't looked at it. I don't really like taking on debt to grow my business. I have enough, like, I don't need money now. I need time. Yeah, you can use AI to teach you how to code for sure. Yeah. All right, guys. Retail sales dropping about an hour. People are asking me, retail sales are not the biggest release today. And remember, the market's closed tomorrow. We have jobless claims Thursday. And then Friday, we got flash PMI data. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time is when the report comes out. There might be a big timer in the top left. Yeah. But it's interesting, guys. It really is. It's interesting to see. 46% think higher than expected for retail sales. Do y'all think that's good or bad? The question is, what does the market want? Does the market want higher than expected retail sales? I don't know. I don't know how it's going to affect crypto. Crypto kind of follows the macro markets, I would say. So yeah, I would say crypto generally follows macro markets, but not 100%. I don't know. All right, guys. Tesla 187.20s. 187.20s. Let's see there. Smear pieces. Retail sales always suck in Q1. You could start a private. Hard to invest in Tesla for me. SOUN is crashing. Is it really? I'm in Soundhound. Yeah, I mean, I'm in a very small position though. I just don't trust it now, to be honest. But I'm also okay with just losing whatever I invest in it. Tomorrow the market is closed. You got the right stuff for a biz, man. What do you mean? Yeah, Soundhound. I'm in at like 7s, but it's like 15 shares, so I'm down like $45 from it. So it could be worse. It's just something that, like, I don't know whether to sell it or what I should do with it. I don't know whether I should just sell and unload Soundhound or whether I should just kind of sit on it and give it a chance to run one day. And I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Tesla rebound. Remember, guys, I bought Tesla last night, or yesterday morning, actually. Remember, I bought Tesla yesterday morning. I added to it. And yesterday, Tesla had a beautiful run. People were making fun of me, too. Like, people were trying to make fun of me at the open yesterday when Tesla dipped a little bit at the open. It ended up ripping, like, ahead of the open. Like, right before the open, Tesla dipped. And people were, like, making fun of me. Like, here. People were making fun of me because of this dip right here. And Tesla right afterwards ended up doing this. So beautiful trade. Up a decent amount on Tesla. Took some profit already because I can't. So you love to see it. You love to see it. Again, we're just looking at balance most of the time. That's why we're buying these. We're just looking at balance. So thanks, guy. I downloaded GPT-4. Yeah. Tesla's going up in the future. I just can't bring myself to day trade it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not day trading it. I mean, I day traded it only because I've made so much money so quickly on it. But I'm still in most of my position here. So like I'm in it, but I'm still in most of my position here. It was funny laughing at Tesla fall by 50 cents because it went up to $10. Yeah, I mean, you know how it goes. Like, people convincing themselves that long-term, like that investing in blue chip companies, or like buying dips in blue chip companies is somehow a bad strategy. They're desperate to be right, and so any small dip, they're like, aha, you know, and then silence when it runs back up. So you'd love to see it. What is Dream Machine? Let's ask AI what Dream Machine is. And is it out yet? All right, so look at GameStop still falling down. GameStop dipped all the way down to 2450s. Dream Machine is a sophisticated video generation tool. Luma developed it. It leverages AI to create high-quality, realistic videos from text instructions and images. Here's some key features. So this is basically like... Ooh. So Dream Machine is basically like Sora, but it's out already. Has anybody used it? I'm asking AI, is there any video editor AI systems available? Adobe Premiere Pro, text-based video editing, background noise reduction, scene edit detection, and motion tracking. I don't want text to video though. Like, I want something that'll edit like the space out of my current video, you know. I'll have to keep looking. I'm sure there's some ways. Sound paid off his debt early with positive cash flow, but still tanking. Yeah, I mean, I usually buy weakness, right? The reason I bought Tesla yesterday is because Tesla's down on the year pretty big. It's down, like it had dipped. It had gone all the way up to 190s and then came all the way back down to 170s. And so that was a short enough term, big pullback for me to justify buying it. That's the only reason I bought it. And again, we rode up, we took profit. Now we're sitting on a pretty safe trade. Like, we've already taken profit on it and everything. I don't know what to do with it moving forward. I'll probably just sit on it. But, yeah, so Palantir, I heard, had some... Palantir up to 25, so Palantir is breaking highs today as well. Look at PLTR. It's up to 25s. Is Apple running up? I don't know. I haven't. Let me see. Yeah, Apple's up to basically 220s. Crazy. We hit 220s a few days ago, testing highs now. A lot of stuff's are still around lifetime highs from AI. What percentage of your cash flow is used for day trading? My cash flow? Not very much. But again, I use a funded account program, so like I'm able to limit my risk with stuff like that heavily. Like, I don't have to risk a lot. You know, my better trades are swing trades and investments. You know, and on Thinkorswim this year, as an example, I'm up thousands. Really nice percentage. Yeah. I would say this year alone, on what I'm actually investing in, right? Like, not the percentage of my account, but actually what percentage of the account I'm using in my investments. I would say I'm up like 15%. Again, that might be wrong. I'll have to go back and check. But in terms of how much equity I'm using, I'm probably up about 20%. You know, I've had some really nice big percentage gains on blue chip stocks this year, and they're up a lot. They're up a lot. Again, that might be wrong though. Yeah. Yeah, well, they're a sponsor of mine. Apex is a sponsor. Hey, thank you, Gary. Do you think NBIO can climb to $2 this week? I mean, listen, brother, I appreciate the donation. But I think it could, but it also could crash down to 20 cents. But thank you for the donation, brother. I appreciate it. Again, for me, man, like I don't trust these at all. Like, okay, so here's the reality of penny stocks. All right, so like he's talking about the stock right here, NBIO. All right, and again, just try to pay attention to what I'm about to say. Okay. Like, you get stocks, okay, so like penny stock gurus are gonna act like there's predictable patterns here that you can take advantage of, right? Like, penny stock gurus are gonna act like there's predictable patterns here that you can take advantage of. Like, somehow, like, you can make money on this. The reality is less. You're gonna like the reality, in my opinion, much less. The reality is that this is not really predictable, that you might get run-ups, but the edge is very low because half the time you're gonna get like this, or you're gonna get a big gap up and then a complete reversal, or you're gonna move up and then just get halted at the upside and it's not gonna do anything. And so, every day there's multiple different stocks that look like NBIO that do this exact thing. And I would say the edge in terms of how many times these actually work out for the trader is very, very low. Very, very low. And so essentially it's a coin flip, it's a gamble, and there's not really any major edge trying to do this. Why? I think this market, penny stock market specifically, is propped up by people trying to sell you courses and sell you services on how to get rich trading penny stocks, but almost all of them are full of crap. Most day traders lose money. That's objectively true just across all niches of day trading. But in terms of penny stocks, like, just the likelihood that you're going to make money is even worse, in my opinion, especially if you ever find yourself swing trading or investing into these type of companies. Almost all of these are going to fail. They can get halted and never resume. They can announce offerings on you randomly, destroying the price of the stock. Like, in the end, most of these companies are just about to fail. And the likelihood that you're going to be able to ride them up before they fail is super low. Almost certainly not going to happen. And most day traders are almost certainly going to lose boatloads of money trying to trade these. It just doesn't work like that. And again, it's propped up by people that are mostly marketing, selling you courses, selling you mentorship programs on how to do it. And they're pandering to people who have less money, right? So they're saying, hey, like, listen, if you've got a small account, if you got $1,000 account, the best move, to be completely honest, is to just buy up a couple shares of blue chip companies or index funds, right? Like, buy up a couple shares of index funds, blue chip companies, whatever you want to do. There's a lot of cheap options in ETFs that mirror the S&P that are cheap, like 20, 30 bucks a share. And like, buying up 5 shares of that, or DCAing into index funds, or buying up blue chip stocks that are down a lot, those are going to have the best odds for success. Trying to gamble and try to roll like a small account day trading penny stocks into something big is almost certainly not going to happen, and you're just going to lose money. So hope that makes sense. Anyways, I appreciate the donation though, brother. I know that's probably not what you expected when you donated money to me. I appreciate it. I try to be honest regardless of anything though, so I hope that makes sense. I made $100 on NBIO, but how much were you risking there? Again, I could keep adding to a losing position and probably make money, but how much am I risking doing that? I'm risking a lot. It's not worth it. Yeah, Broadcom, AVGO, or not AVGO. I'm sorry. Yeah, AVGO, Broadcom, craziness. I wanted the honesty. That's the honest truth, man. And again, you got people that are sold on it. You got people that have spent so much time learning the game of penny stocks and buying, that it hurts for them to accept what I'm saying. Like, when they hear it, they reject it because they've spent so much of their energy and time learning it, right? And I could, like, if you ever heard of alchemy, right? Turning, like, if you ever heard of alchemy, which is creating gold out of thin air, there are all these books on alchemy and how you do it and all this different stuff, right? None of them were real. And people spent a lot of time trying to learn how to create gold. But did it, just because they spent all that time, was it valid? No, of course not. you know, because you can't do that. You can't create gold out of thin air. Same concept here. Free money for AGO? I don't think so, bro. I think AVGO is up so much already. So much already. AVGO is up from 850s to 1800s. It's up over 100%. I think it's just up way too much. So AVGO, let's look at it. Let's talk about it. AVGO is does power amplifiers, encoders, fiber optic transmitters, receivers, radio frequency filters. Components are crucial for various applications. They offer software solutions that cater to a wide range of industries, mainframe, cyber, automation. Their software portfolio includes solutions for enterprises, mainframe, cybersecurity, and storage. I'm trying to see what the main part of their business is. Yeah, but listen, free my grandma. It's all good, bro. Like, listen, it's all good, dude. It's all good, bro. But just because you're up, usually the worst time to buy it is after you're up big. Usually, you know, things move in waves. I'm not saying AVGO is not a great company. I'm skeptical on it because it's up so much. But it does create like look, AVGO is kind of an AI stock too. They create radio frequency filters and amplifiers used in wireless, optocouplers, which is used to transmit. They use light to transmit electrical signals. Fiber optic transmitters and receivers for high-speed data and fiber optic networks. Encoders and motion control components used in industrial automation. They create a bunch of stuff, a bunch of internet physical products and services in the semiconductor sector as well, right? So in semiconductors, essentially as semiconductors grow, Broadcom's going to grow as well. Palantir's making money every quarter. Yeah, I'm in Palantir. Again, I just think Broadcom, it's just not, I'm not saying Broadcom's not going to be successful. It's just up too much for me to buy it right now. It's way too high. I always buy pullbacks instead of strength. That's just the way I trade, the way I get in. And so there's pros and cons. One of the flaws of that system is that I miss out on like bigger gains, right? But one of the pros is that I avoid pullbacks as much. I don't get stuck in as many corrections as others maybe. And so it's all good. Yeah, maybe long term. Yeah, so nice, man. I'm gonna have to check out WiseCut. WiseCut uses AI and voice recognition tech to automatically edit videos by removing pauses, trimming out fillers, and adding subtitles. That's gonna help me produce more stuff. Yeah, so retail sales are expected at 0.2% today. 0.2%. Last time they showed up at 0%. Core retail sales expected at 0.2%. We also have industrial production numbers, capacity utilization rate coming out at 9.15, and then business inventories at 10. Hey, later, Finch. Split for what? AVGO Broadcom? It needs to split. I think that's a good move. I think it's time for it to split. All right, looking at our poll numbers here, we got 43% thinking higher than expected for retail sales, 38% thinking lower, 18% saying I don't know. All right, guys, so working in the background here. Yeah, so July 15th is the AVGO split. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. What would be good for this report to come in higher or lower? Well, that's the question. What does the market want? Right? Does the market want more or less economic growth with retail sales data? I don't know, man. I think it could want less. I think less data could be good. It depends on what the market wants. If the market wants a rate cut, less is better. Higher is worse. If the market... So I think this one's ambiguous. I think it's up in the air. I think it could go either way, and the market could want either one. The lesser numbers here, lesser retail sales signals more likelihood of a rate cut in shorter term, or more likelihood of a rate cut than previously, and higher number here signals less need of a rate cut and more likely, but also worse for inflation, right? So yeah, so higher number here signals worse inflation problems, but more economic growth, as well as less of a need to cut rates. A lower number here signals less inflation problems, but more of a need to cut rates and less economic growth, right? So I don't know what the market wants. You never know here, and this is something we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with the retail sales data. All right, chat. Hmm. Yeah, so SPY is still very flat here. You know, I usually like attacking this chop, but the market is still very, very low liquid. In terms of the SPY, maybe the Q is better. Let me check the NASDAQ 100 here and see if we get a little bit more edge here. I do like attacking choppiness, but I don't know. We did get a move back up. But yeah, AVGO is interesting here. We also got to look at Nvidia, you know. So is there a positive correlation? I'm assuming there's a positive correlation between Nvidia and Broadcom. Yeah, so I would say there's a positive correlation with AVGO and Nvidia. Interesting. I would be fairly surprised if it comes in hot. Yeah, but I mean, listen, that's the problem I see a lot of people do here. Like a lot of people, right? Like here's an example. Okay, so the last CPI report, I got things exactly right. Like people asked me what I thought CPI would show up as. I literally told them I thought it would come in at 0% month to month and 3.3% on the year, right? And when I said that, right, when I made that prediction or guess, it was really just a guess. When I made that guess, what happened? People made fun of me. People said, you don't know what you're talking about, bro. You know, whatever. They made fun of me for it. You know, so I think the biggest problem is that I don't think it's predictable in that way, even if I got it exactly right. Like, I guess essentially, I think it's very difficult to gauge what the number is going to show up as. I think a lot of people think that you can track the economy and see what the economy's doing and then make an educated guess on what you think these economic reports are going to show up as. And again, this is coming from somebody that guessed it exactly right the last time, which was pure luck, straight up luck. Maybe I used balance. I did use somewhat balancing in my prediction, right? So I said, hey, what was it last time? Let's be balanced here. The Fed's trying to keep things balanced. What's a balanced prediction? That's the only thing that I think had any edge at all in terms of predicting. Outside of that, I think it's very low probability to guess it correctly here. And so essentially what I'm saying is I have no idea what retail sales is going to be, and nobody really does. I don't even know if I'm going to make a guess for this one. Yeah, for sure. I get you, Solo. It's all good, dude. I get it. Does this report affect the stock market? I guess you saying you'd be surprised if it comes in hot. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. I think that's too rigid. But again, I get what you're saying, though, to be honest. Real world experience is impossible to know for sure. The only thing that works, in my opinion, is balance. Like, you can look at balance and try to get balance right in terms of what the Fed's doing now versus what they did last time. I think that's the only way. Outside of that, no edge, in my opinion, in terms of, like, predicting these. Do you think market wants higher sales, suggesting the economy isn't falling apart, but maybe inflationary, or lower sales, suggesting economy, but less inflationary? I don't know. I think it's somewhere in the middle, most likely. I think Powell's getting a lot of pressure to cut rates, but I don't think we should. I don't think we need to. I don't think that it's helpful to the economy. I think that he's getting pressure from real estate mostly and lending. But cutting rates can cause inflation spikes, and prices have gone up ridiculous amounts in 5 years, and we don't want them to go up anymore. But yeah, in terms of that, I really don't know what the market wants or how the market's going to react here. Realtors in the media concerned. Yeah, I mean, realtors are going to be realtors, though. You know how it goes. Like, real estate agents, they just want their business to do well. And I get it, man. I'm not even mad at them. If all my businesses were relying on real estate, I'd probably want them to cut rates too. Fortunately, they're not. But like, if I get it, I guess is the point. And in some ways, lower interest rates could be like, they could be helpful. Yeah, so they could be helpful. It just, there's a consequence to, we can't never-endingly stimulate the economy, right? Of course, people want that. They want to deal with a thriving economy with no consequence to it. But I'm here to tell you, there is a cost to pay with never-endingly thriving economy. You know, if the economy's too strong all the time, inflation is a problem. And so we can't just say, hey guys, let's thrive the economy and boost the economy always so we can make more business in real estate and act like nothing's gonna act like there's no consequence from that behavior, you know. And I think inflation isn't where we want it to be yet. I think if inflation was at 2.5% even, I don't even think it needs to hit 2. I think if inflation's at 2.5%, we're good, and we can then start to talk about lowering rates. But inflation's not there yet. Unfortunately, it's just not there yet, and it's not near that. And so I think we got time. All right, guys. So there's Broadcom, GameStop. We can take a look at the Q. Okay, we still got 40 minutes until this. The Q is much stronger, so tech is much stronger. The SPY is super flat today. So the SPY is actually technically green. The NASDAQ 100 is actually, or the SPY, I mean, the SPY is technically red. The NASDAQ 100 is green, though. And so if I was going to attack CHOP, it'd be in the E-mini. But even still, I don't know if I trust it. Yeah. Realtors need to aim their concerns to the builders, in my opinion, at that supply. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. The benefit of having high interest rates right now, and again, another part of my bias is that like, if you pay cash for a rental property, you can get some good deals right now, you know? So, like, that's another benefit. Yeah, so Nvidia's doing free AI training and courses, too. All right, guys. So, yeah, some of my old music. It's one of my old playlists. Let me know if you like it or don't like it. It's all right. Like some of it's good. Again, Nvidia's still moving up. GameStop's still dipping down. Yeah, we're gonna start to day trade some here too, chat. All right, guys. So, yeah, we're gonna get ready to try to day trade futures here. Let me see if I can. So we got that up. Okay, so we got that account, that account, that account. Whew. Ooh, dude. So yeah, Apex fixed a lot of my accounts here. Wow. So they fixed a lot of these accounts. Nice. Okay. Cool. All right. It's eight. So remember, we did roll over here. We did roll over, chat. It's so choppy right now, though, man. Yeah. Let me make sure this is not. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, we do have one. All right, cool. Yeah, the M4 contracts are expired. So remember, the M4 contracts are expired. Look at Nvidia move up, though. Nvidia getting back up to 132s. We're still around lifetime highs here. So again, we do have retail sales data dropping at 8:30. Does the market want higher or lower numbers? Yeah, the S&P is just choppy. Chop, chop. Let me see if I can actually. So when I say hey, most mentors are. Sorry, I'm looking at these shorts. Let me see. How do I go back? Actually, I might only be able to see one. Palantir shares yesterday. Yeah, sorry. I was looking at a short that that Pawn sent me. I remember this song. I like this song. This song's good. Tesla up there. GameStop bouncing back to 2470s. All right, so everyone drop a like. I appreciate it. I'm so unsure when, if to drop Nvidia as it's becoming really overweight in the portfolio. Yeah, I mean Nvidia's up a lot too, so I get taking profit in it for sure. I took profit on Nvidia, to be honest, after the split, and it ran up some. I did take some profit off of it because I could, right? You know, I was in before the split, so it wouldn't even show me my average price. But I remember where I got in was under it was under 1,000. And now it's up to basically a pre-split price of 1,300 or more, right? So I'm already up a lot in that one. And I took a little bit, but I'm also in still a good sized position, I think. All right, so we're getting Tesla at 187.10s. 187.10s. Tesla moving up a little bit. Tesla going almost green on the day. The E-mini did bounce here as well. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to cut this position. Again, we got retail sales data, so it's possible that we get choppiness now. It depends on what Nvidia does, though. GameStop's still dipping down some. All right, so we did move up some. Again, Tesla right at 187. So when do you guys think Tesla's going to break $200 a share here? Nvidia might be a total. Yeah, the Broadcom is up a ton. Third worst typer in the world. Definitely top 3 best and worst simultaneous typers in the world right now. Thoughts on NBIO? Could have hit $2 today. Okay. Hold on. Wait. All right. Did you just wait? Yeah, so somebody asked me that exact same question earlier, and I told them the same exact thing, which is that NBIO is incredibly risky, sketchy. I wouldn't bet on it personally. Maybe it does, but again, I'm not going to invest in it or bet on it. Most of these are going to fail. Most people that end up investing in these are just kind of really small account traders who don't have any idea about what the real edge is in penny stocks. Not saying that's you, but just be careful. Because of you, I made 23% in the last 2.5 months. How because of me? I mean, I appreciate it. I'm a little surprised it hasn't happened yet. Referencing Twitter or referencing Tesla to over 200, but it really has struggled to hold 180 lately. Yeah, I mean, I bought the dip yesterday. If you remember, I had an average price of 140s, but when it dropped from like 190s all the way back down to the 170s, I bought that dip and I took profit on the bounce yesterday too because it bounced up a lot. And so yeah, it's one of those things that it's interesting. We'll see. I really do think that if Tesla positions themselves with FSD and full self-driving long-term, they're going to be great. But I also think that if Elon doesn't be quiet politically, there's risks too. All right, so we get Nvidia 132s almost. Hey, what's up, Far? When you said that BS, I thought of what's his name, China. You know, I thought of Trump when you said that. You spelled it that way. Was a red candle mean buy signal? A blue candle wick? I don't even know when blue wicks show up. Enjoy my coffee has risen 24% over the past week following this YouTube channel. Yeah, no, they activated a bunch of mines as well, Far. So yeah, they activated a bunch of mine as well. Anyways, NBIO is running up. It's at 110s. I learned from you thinking reasonable, making calculated bets. Hey, thanks, brother. Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, one of the things that, like, okay, I don't know if it was Ray Dalio's Principles book or something else, but one of the things that you learn from that book, I think, is, you know, they have, like, a lot of people look at certain things like they're the truth. Things that aren't the truth, right? You hear people say facts all the time with things that are not actually facts, right? Like, a lot of the time people are just projecting what they want to happen with confirmation bias, like I always say. And so it's important if you're investors, and I think this is what Ray Dalio talks about in his book Principles. One of the things that's important if you're an investor is to find out what the actual truth is, regardless of what you want to happen. Like, a lot of people invest and they want the stock to go up. And so their ego overpowers logic in some ways, and they just kind of argue only the strengths of the company themselves, right? But I think regardless of whether you're in it or not, regardless of how much money you're putting down, regardless of whether what you want to happen, it's really, really important for people to look at the flaws of things as well. And if you can be objective and look at the good and bad things of a company and make a calculated risk based off of both of those, not just the strengths, but also the potential vulnerabilities and weaknesses, then you're going to have an edge over most investors who are just ego trading on what they want to happen. Like people telling everybody the market's going to crash every other week and then they miss out on it, so they double down. They're just holding on to ego, where I think you got to look at everything objectively. You have to look at both sides objectively. Any company you invest in, you got to say, what's the strengths, what's the weaknesses, what's the potential for failure, what's the vulnerabilities long term. You got to look at all that stuff. And I think if you do, you're going to have a lot better investments, a lot more calculated risks. And It's going to be a lot easier to make money versus somebody who just kind of ego trades and goes super hard into what they want and gets emotionally wrapped up in their shares or whatever. I think you have to just be smart, and I guess what I'm trying to say is be objective. But yeah. Yeah, they reset a lot of mine too. That's what I'm actually on right now. Unity. Yeah, I sold Unity a long time ago. It's just too. I only had one share of Unity, to be honest, and I sold it a long time ago. A couple stocks that I did buy over the last few weeks. Again, Airbnb were green. Alibaba were green. Chewy were green. Salesforce were green. CVS were green. Delta were green. What else we buy? Home Depot. Remember, we added to Home Depot. Very green on that one. That one ripped up a ton. And again, I'm buying weakness is what I'm doing with a lot of these. Netflix, very green. My average price on Netflix is $5.70. It's at $6.77. This wasn't a couple weeks ago. The ones I bought a couple weeks ago were Airbnb, I'm green. CVS, I'm green. Roblox, I am now very green on that one. Very green. Shopify, I'm now very, very green on that one as well. My average price in Shopify is 61s. It's at 66, 67s. We also bought Target. And we're slightly green on that one. We're still green, but not as green as we could be. Our average price is 140. It's at 145 roughly. Uber, we bought Uber, very green on that one as well. That one's up to over 70s. We got in at 65s. So yeah, those are the stocks that I recently bought over the last like few weeks. And again, those have treated me really, really nice. So we'll see if we we'll see if we get some good stuff. Yeah, guys, I'm not really going to talk about NBIO anymore. You know, people are asking me the same thing about it. I think it's a really risky penny stock that has high volatility and has high volume right now. Maybe it runs, maybe it crashes. I don't really want to recommend or really talk about it too much because I think it's risky and sketchy. That's just me personally, though. So just be careful, guys. NBIO big. We got Nvidia. Yeah, but again, I don't really. I'm kind of sketched out. Nvidia's still around. You know, the crazy part is that a lot of these are around lifetime highs. So a lot of these stocks are around lifetime highs. That includes Nvidia around lifetime highs, Apple around lifetime highs, Microsoft at all-time highs. Meta's not at all-time highs, but it's close. Same thing with Amazon. It's not really at lifetime highs, but it's close. Google, right around lifetime highs. Google's right around lifetime highs. The SPY is at lifetime highs. The NASDAQ 100 is at lifetime highs. So the S&P and the NASDAQ 100 both at lifetime highs. Gold is not really at lifetime highs. It's a little dip. Oil is still a decent amount away from lifetime highs, especially with all the stuff going on overseas. But yeah, a lot of tech stocks. You know, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Google, all around lifetime highs. So, including the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500. Again, all of these are very close to lifetime highs. So just be careful. It's something in which I'm not super interested in buying up tech stocks right now. I think that's risky. I think they're, you know, I'm in some of them, so I'm going to probably stay in them unless we get a big rip that I can take profit into. But yeah. Yeah, remember, tomorrow the stock market is closed as well, chat. So the stock market is closed tomorrow. Yeah, so again, this is all related to AI. All the stocks that are up are all heavily involved with AI. So yeah, I mean, AI really is that thing. The question is, this, right? Like, we are already up a lot. Okay. The question is, we're here. Is it time for something like this? And I'm not saying we don't continue going like that, but are we in this phase now? Are we about to hit this phase now where we're getting, a decent pullback is the question. I think it's possible. Nobody knows for sure, but I certainly think it's possible. Yeah, Microsoft's literally at 451s, which is crazy, or was at 451s yesterday. Microsoft owns OpenAI and ChatGPT as well. So that's, if you want to know why Microsoft is doing well, it's because it owns ChatGPT and OpenAI. Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin is 65K roughly. Been sideways since March, but still broke lifetime highs around March. So yeah, crypto's meme coins have been going crazy. Iggy Azalea created her own meme coin. On Google. Can you describe the possibilities we get based on the readings? Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. Market could, again, what happens is we could have higher than expected retail sales and the market drops, which I think is the more plausible scenario. I think higher than expected retail sales might make the market dip because of inflation fears. As well as, I think a lot of people are pushing for rate cuts, and a higher than expected retail sales number might make rate cuts less likely. And so I think all of that's going to make the market potentially drop if we get higher than expected retail sales. I think it could really go either way, though. And when you want to pay attention to core retail sales, everything's expected at 0.2%. And so base retail sales as well as core retail sales, both expected at 0.2%. I think that's the most plausible scenario. But again, it really is something that there's not really any edge in terms of betting on these. I think it's a gamble, coin flip, Hey, what's up, relaxation? Also, just ad revenue. Yeah. The market averages around 3.5 pullbacks, 5% pullbacks a year, 10% pullback a year. Again, these are just averages. Yeah. And so this year we've had one major one. Like, when we look at the market over the last year straight, we could look at it a couple ways. Here's 2024. And so since 2024, right? So here's 2024 right here. We've had this pullback. We've had this major one. Now, this was obviously the biggest pullback of the year. In terms of percentages, let's see. In terms of percentages, the market dipped from about 53.50 on the E-mini all the way down to under 5,000. It looks like about 49.75. So in terms of percentages, the market dipped 7% here. So the market dipped about 7% there. A couple little small 5% dips here, so a little bit under 5% drop, probably a 4% drop right there. So yeah, we've had a couple major drops, but nothing super significant since the beginning of 2024. Now, if we're talking about on the year as a whole, that's a little bit different. That's a scenario where we went from 4,600 down to 4,100 or so. So the big dip that we had last year was an 11% drop. So if we're looking at 52 weeks, the previous 52 weeks, this is an 11-cent drop. This is a 7% drop. And so that's what we're looking like in terms of pullbacks over the last 52 weeks. But again, if we're looking at 2024, the biggest ones was this 7% drop. Yeah, I like Google as a company. I think they're a powerful company. All right, guys. So we got about 1,000 people here. We still got 5 minutes. Again, Tesla right at that previous closing price, right at a major resistance level also. Nvidia at 131s. Here, should I put up the SPY? I'm going to put up the SPY here in the middle. The QQQ here on the right. And then we'll put up, what do you want to like? Apple. We'll put up gold. Or we'll put up the Dixie. I think with retail sales, the dollar index is relevant. So we'll put the Dixie up right here. Again, usually the Dixie has an inverse correlation with markets. So, yeah. So usually the Dixie is going to do the opposite of what the market does. In general, not always. It's never for sure. Also, we're going to put it in sub-only mode, chat. So if you have not already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're trying to push towards 150,000 in subs. Any last minute predictions? We got 4.5 minutes, chat. 4.5 minutes. I'd love to see some bearish action today because I want to buy pullback. Yeah, I mean, I'm usually the one that likes, I love buying dips, but I don't know, man. I just think we're around lifetime highs, so I'm not buying up a ton of stuff right now. The only stuff I bought up over the last couple weeks were stocks in which we're pulling back heavily. Like Uber was one, Airbnb was another. Like these are all stocks that dipped a lot over the last couple weeks. Shopify, Roblox, like these are all stocks that were down a bunch. Shopify was down, Roblox was down. Those are the companies I bought. And so outside of that, like I didn't buy up any more of the Mag 7. All right, guys, we got 3.5 minutes left. 3.5 minutes. Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out Apex. Apex is a funded account program in futures. Great way to learn how to day trade, too. Most day traders lose money. And so if you put up, like, your own money in day trading, you're probably going to lose it. If you put up thousands, you're probably going to lose thousands. It just makes no sense to do that. Most day traders lose. You can limit your risk and still learn to day trade. And if you're good enough, you can still get tons of funding in a funded account program in futures. And in futures, you can basically trade the SPY and Q price action. The same strategies that you would use on the SPY and Q. You can day trade what the SPY and Q track, which is the S&P 500 futures contract and the NASDAQ 100 futures contract. And again, Apex, they give you a demo and they test your skill with the demo account first. The base one is 25K. So they give you a 25K demo. If you can make 1,500 without losing 1,500 and following their rules, they fund you 25K with a 90% split. And so the split's similar to putting the money up yourself. You're keeping 90%. You're keeping your first 25K in profit. This also includes real-time data. And this is $40-something a month. Very cheap. If you lose, you're out $40-something a month. And again, most day traders lose. I think that's the truth here. Most day traders are going to lose here as well. It's a lot cheaper to lose here than it is to put up 5K and lose that. And so it's a great way to learn how to day trade. And if you pass it, again, you get 25K in funding with a 90% split. The 250K challenge is also the same price as that right now. The same price. You can get this one, same price as the 25K one. And again, it's like $40 a month, $45 a month. Apex is one of the most legit. They paid out millions. You can see they paid out almost 200 million since 2022. They average over 11 million in payouts a month. One of the most legit in the world. Although again, they are a sponsor of mine. They pay me money. I'm biased because they pay me money. But again, right now, $35 maximum, $35 universal resets. You can check them out here. Again, they're a sponsor of mine. All right, guys, we got a minute and a half left until this data comes out. A minute and a half left. Again, remember, I'm not even guaranteeing to be a good trader. I do trade off stream sometimes. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. Always understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. But you can use coupon code BT. If you want to get the max discount, coupon code BT, beginner trading BT will get you the max discount always. If you ever want to know a coupon code that'll get you the max discount, BT will. Check it out. We got about a minute left, chat. About a minute left. All right, let's do this. Retail sales expected at 0.2%. 0.2%. Here we go. Again, we got less than a minute. Give me your last minute predictions here, chat. Core retail sales expected at 0.2%. I'm showing some other places have it at 0.3%. So I'm showing some of these other platforms expecting 0.3%. So again, maybe a little bit higher inflation expectations. 40 seconds. Chat, 40 seconds. You guys ready? Here we go. 30 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up, chat. Market's closed tomorrow. All right, so the timer's a little bit early. We still got about 11 seconds. Hit the live button, though, next to the play button. It'll catch you up on the stream if you haven't yet. All right, 5 seconds. All right, here's the report. And there's the report. Let's watch the market. Let's see if it moves at all. All right, retail sales came in at 0.1%. 0.1%. Lower than expected retail sales, 0.1%. Core retail sales actually came in at a negative minus 0.1%. Minus 0.1%. So less economic growth, less inflation problems, higher likelihood of a cut. And again, I thought the market would react positively to this report. And so far it has. It doesn't mean it's going to hold. But again, retail sales came in at 0.1%. Core retail sales came in at minus 0.1%. Yeah, so lower than expected universally for retail sales. We'll put this up on screen. And this is, again, we thought we would get this reaction to it, which is a more economic or more bullish action from this. And that's exactly what we got. Again, retail sales 0.1%. Core retail sales came in at minus 0.1%. So, interesting. Yeah, we'll put this up on screen. Yeah, retail sales core came minus 0.1%. And yeah, we told you guys the market would probably react negatively, or positively, I mean, to higher retail or to lower retail sales data. Again, our logic is this: less economic growth signals less inflation problems, and the market wants rate cuts, and so this signals more of a need to cut rates, less inflation problems. You know, but again, at the same time, chat, you want to be very, very careful because sometimes the first move is the wrong move. And so sometimes the first move can and will be wrong. And so sometimes essentially we'll go up on this report and then correct and come all the way back down. So just be careful. Because you have to use my coupon code BT to get the discount music. You got to use the coupon code. All right. So again, market ripped up. All right. Yeah. Again, so we initially got positive action in this. Initially. We'll see if we continue to get it. E-Bitty moving up some. What's up, man? Do you honestly feel like the market is hyperextended at this point? I think it really depends on microchips, mostly. I think it really depends on microchips. I think the market ultimately is following Nvidia AI hype and strength. Yeah, so I think the market is following tech and microchips. Why they put so much weight on retail sales? They don't. I mean, honestly, this is like an underwhelming reaction relative to a lot of economic reports. All right, so the Q's starting to come down a little bit. So again, first move might have been the wrong move here. The SPY is slower, but look at the NASDAQ start to dip. Dollar index starting to bounce back here. So we are turning some. It says core retail sales excludes automobiles. So yeah, big dip. Let's see the NASDAQ, see if it moves at all. Remember, we are on a new So no, the dollar index is the dollar, the US dollar. So usually the US dollar moves inversely to equities because the more people that sit on cash, the less people that invest, and vice versa. Yeah, so we bought this dip on futures. We are day trading here, and this is day trading on Apex right now. So this is us day trading on Apex. We're up about 500. We're going to take a little off here. See if we can maybe add to some of this. We bought right at the bottom of the range there, so that's nice. We'll take a little bit more off, lock some profit in. And see if we can keep it up. Just show you my trades there. You see we're in 2 contracts. I will add to this. Again, we're attacking choppiness because the market seems indecisive. Yeah, market seems indecisive. So we're gonna go ahead and take a little bit more off here. Currently in this account, we are up. What are we up? We're up 450 plus whatever we're up here. We might add to this. We'll add. I think people want rate cuts, right? So like that's my logic of taking this trade 4 or 5, and then we'll add another 5. This is a challenge account, by the way. They reset a bunch of ours. So if you're a Rhythmic user, they reset a lot of the accounts overnight. We got a bunch of ours back. Yeah, it's an old playlist. Let me know if you want me to keep it here or change it. I gotta change this. I don't think it's bad, but it's also, I don't like anything with words in it. A pullback has to be soon. Yeah, maybe. The data might be below me right on screen in big bold letters. Alright, so let's put this up. Alright, so we did get the bounce that we wanted. Nice. We'll take half of it off, a little bit more than half. So you can see we are now up 620s. A little bit more than that now with these gains. Take a little bit more off there. We're now up about 700. Again, we're trading on Apex's funded account program. This is a challenge account, so if we pass this, we got to make 3K in profit without losing. I think it's 2,500 first. If we follow their rules, they fund us 50K with a 90% split. In another Apex account, we're up thousands of dollars, about to put in a withdrawal. And again, Apex gives you a demo in futures. They test your skill. You can see how similar it is to day trading stocks as well. We're going to go ahead and cut this since we're up about 7. So yeah, you can see how similar it is to day trading stocks. We're basically day trading the Q price action here. Actually, this is the E-mini. So we're basically day trading the SPY price action. Again, there's no PDT rule in futures. You can day trade short. Very similar to day trading stocks. And Apex funds traders. They give them a demo, test their skill. It's a challenge. Most day traders lose. And so again, most day traders are going to lose here as well because most day traders lose. Doesn't matter where they go. But it's a lot cheaper to lose here usually. And again, it's a great way to learn how to day trade with less risk. Instead of risking thousands of dollars, you could try this. If you lose, it's not the end of the world. If you pass it, you get a funded account, 90% split. Great way to learn. Here's the link. Check it out. And I think the sale ends today as well. I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it ends today. Okay, it ends in 15 hours. Yeah, so for the next 15 hours, you get 71% off. You can see it ends in 15 hours and 1 day pass. All right, so, all right. No, it's not $0 a month. It's like $45 a month. Yeah, so we're going to end this poll. We asked people, does retail sales come in higher or lower than expected? Now the real question is, does the market in after retail sales coming in lower than expected? Does the market close green today? Yes or no? All right, so there's the voting poll here. If you want to vote on the poll, there it is. I believe so. Yes, music. Yeah, you can reset it for 35 bucks right now. Every account you can reset it for 35 bucks right now. So every account reset is $35 currently. Also, help me hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, chat, if you haven't already. We appreciate it. We're starting to test lows of the day on the E-mini. I want to pull up the NASDAQ 100 here, to be completely honest. I keep putting in NQU3. For whatever reason, it's not loading the NASDAQ here. Okay. Micro looks like it works. NASDAQ. There it is. Okay, here's the NASDAQ. So this is a much faster moving one. All right, so we're up about 700 on the day or so. Now, normally I would short this, but lately I've been playing the other side of it, which is just extension. So we'll try one contract here. Just one contract. We'll let it play out, and then maybe we'll add to it. See if we retrace back up, do a little fake out, move back higher, and then move up some, and then maybe we can add to it. Hey, what's up, Daphne? Yeah, so we do have industrial production numbers in 33 minutes. We've got the red book in 13 minutes. Red book is nothing though. Yeah, none of the other stuff is big today. Industrial production is pretty small, in all honesty. All right, so there's the bounce back that we thought we might get. And now we're retracing back down, so we'll see. We're basically completely flat. We're going to add to this. We got 3 contracts now. Take a little bit more, 4 contracts. We got $700 in cushion, so we'll be okay. I just want to see if we repel higher. Maybe not. Alright, so since this is a challenge account and I've got like 10 of them right now, I'm just going to add to this and try to kind of average into it. I'm not able to do this on a real funded account though, so don't try to do this on a real funded account. They won't pay you if you try to DCA too much and just add to losing positions. One day pass means that if you take the challenge and pass it today, you'll get funded today. You don't have to trade anymore. Sometimes outside of that, sometimes the pass is 3 days, meaning you have to have at least 3 trading days minimum before you can pass the challenge. You can't just take one big trade, make 3K or whatever the profit target is, and pass it in one day. Instead, you have to day trade at X amount of time. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 5. And then sometimes like periods like right now where it's only 1. Yeah, and again, the risk I'm taking in this account is much different than risks I normally take, right? This is a challenge account. I'm already funded in like 2 or 3 accounts with thousands of profit between all of them. This is a challenge account, and so I can basically risk this whole account. If I lose here, where I think I gotta make, if I make $2,500 in losses, this account really only costs me about like 30 bucks or whatever it is, 40 bucks. Hey, congrats, dude. I like these small streams. Yeah, I mean, we still got over 1,000 people here. It's not like it's too small. But my channel mostly covers economics, and so, you know, we're at the whim of what economic reports drop. All right, so we're basically back flat on this position. I'm trying to see when the next semi-annual monetary policy report. When's the next semi-annual monetary policy report with Powell? All right, so now we're green here, chat. We're green. I'm going to let this run. We'll take a little bit off, though. You know, maybe a little bit more. There we go. All right, we got 4 contracts left. Yeah, we're up over 1,000 now. There we go. Take another half off there, lock it in. So yeah, we're basically halfway there, over halfway there. Take another little piece. We'll let the rest run. So yeah, we are. All right, so there we go. We're 2/3 of the way there and getting funded. Here's my profit target. We're up 1,800 in this account. Yes, I am Christian. All right, so SPY did move up. So we're right about the direction here. We're almost there. Hey, nice, Andrea. Congrats. Yeah, no, you're not on the hook for the 25K. And if anybody signed up through my link today, let me know, because I'm trying to test something here. I'm sure we at least had a couple people sign up using my link today. Any other data today? Yeah, we got Redbook, industrial production capacity utilization, but none of those are really big. They're all pretty small. Like, none of them are major reports or anything like that. They're all pretty small and you know, insignificant. Honestly, I'm kind of excited I don't have to work tomorrow. Like, yeah, futures are open, you know, but yeah, I'm gonna buy here, chat. I'm gonna take the risk. I like the dip. We got another 5 contracts that we're gonna add to it at the bottom. All right, so we're in 10 contracts here. I'm taking the risk. Again, if we lose, we're out $40. If we pass it, we get 50K in funding. We only need about $1,200 to get funded. That's why I'm taking the risk here. We're right at the bottom range. We're down a lot, you know. There we go. Nice. Another piece. Nice. All right, we're up well over 2 now. So we have profit here. I'm gonna add more to this. We're gonna take another 6. We're very close to getting funded now. Take another little piece. Yeah, so we are up currently about $2,300. We need to make 3. So in this account specifically, we need $300 more in profit. That's it. Yeah, Correct. All right, so I got to be careful here. We already built up $2,400 in profit. I don't want to give too much back. Yeah, I'm gonna sell this. We're out. So we're still up 2,000 plus. Yeah, we're up 2,200 basically right now still. So again, we need about 800 bucks. We'll see what we get it. Again, I don't mind buying this dip. There we go. We're in. Yeah, you can cancel them whenever you want. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you get funded, there is an activation fee. But again, that's pretty standard with every prop firm funded account program. That's how they all are. All right, so do I want to add to this? I think I do. We cracked this low, I'm cutting it, but I'll let it test this low. I'm not gonna add any more to it here. Yeah, you're probably just talking about candle wicks. Yeah, it depends on how much the account is funded. Christian, yeah, Christian, you keep asking the same thing every single day. It's literally the same question about the activation fees. It's like 80 bucks or whatever for the 50K one. I'm pretty sure it's like 85 bucks or something like that. If you want to check out the link, again, there's the link right there from Nightbot. Use coupon code BT if you want the discount. Yeah, we're gonna try to get funded in this one. All right, so now we're green again, but here, you gotta watch it. I'm watching the SPY come back down. The Dixie's moving up some. $8K on GameStop, man. Hey, be safe, brother. Be safe. I don't know what you should do there, though. I'm in GameStop. I'm not you know. I hope it goes up. But I only trade with money I'm okay with losing. All right, we got 4 contracts here. If we move up, I'll add to this. All right, so we're in 6 contracts now. You see, I'm adding to winning trades only here because that gives me the best edge, I think. Yeah, we only need about 500 bucks left. Let's take one off here. Lock it in. There we go. Take another piece. Yeah, we only need about 150 bucks left now. A little bit more than that, about 200, 300 now. All right, so we got 4 contracts here. Take a little bit more profit here. We got 3 contracts. You can see my graph. We're very close to getting funded here. Very, very close. Yeah, I'll put some music back on in a second. There's my graph. Mostly riding the strength in the NASDAQ after kind of buying the dip. Just check the site, guys. Like, y'all are asking me stuff that's on the site mostly. So just check the site. It's going to be easier than asking me. Just do the facts. Go look at the facts. It does cost money to activate the account once you're funded. I'm gonna have to cut this now. Yeah, so we need $500. I think we could probably hit that today. TBIL? I don't know what TBIL is, bro. If I put some money in there, I don't know what this is. Oh, this is Treasury 3-month bills. Okay, so this is Treasury bonds. I don't know about investing in the Treasury bond ETFs, to be completely honest. Somebody else might be able to answer that a little bit better than I can. But as for, yeah, I don't know. Completely honest, I really genuinely don't know about TBIL. It's 3-month Treasury bonds. And they're currently, it looks like, at about 4.9% annually, right? So that's annualized 4.9%, which means that if you hold for 3 months, which is 25%, so you're going to make 4.993 times 25%. You're going to make about 1.24% here. So if you invest 100K, you're going to make about $12.40, you know, 1.24%. That's the math on it. Now, I'm not used to investing in these. Yeah, Trade the Pool is one that does it with stocks. Although I've never used them, but my buddy Mitch uses, and he streams with them too. They've got a good stream, you know. So it's called Trade the Pool. I'm not an affiliate or anything with them or anything like that, though. So. Yeah, I've never tried TBIL or anything like that. But yeah, retail sales are out. Yeah, we still got time. Yeah, I mean, I could ask AI to break it down. All right, so we're having AI chat GPT 4 break it down. Tesla green on the day, is it really? Investing in U.S. Treasury 3-month bill involves several steps. TBIL is an exchange-traded fund that tracks the performance of the most recently issued 3-month Treasury bills. It's a passively managed fund designed to provide investors with exposure with minimal risk. It offers the safety of government debt with the convenience and liquidity of an ETF. It aims to pay monthly dividends, which can be an attractive feature for income-focused investors. To invest, you need to have a brokerage account. If you don't have one, choose a reputable brokerage that offers access to a wide range of ETFs. Popular options include Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab, and others. You can buy shares like any other stock or ETF. Pays monthly dividends on the amount. So yeah, basically it's like investing in 3-month Treasury bonds. It's like investing in Treasury bonds without, like, a little bit more liquid version, you know. So like you could sell it anytime you want, I guess is the point. I might buy some. I'll play with it. So how much dividend is paid per share is what I need to know here. Yeah, stock market is closed. All right, so for June, they're paying out 0.21. April, March. Okay. I mean, that's not bad. I don't hate it. I'll invest in some. What should I invest in? Like 100 shares? How much is 100 shares gonna run? Oh, it's $49.93. Okay, so it's gonna be about 5K for 100 shares. Let's try 400 shares, maybe. Should we do more? I could do 5, maybe 600. So about 30K for 600 shares. Should I wait until the market opened to buy it? Would you buy Chipotle after the split? I don't think there's much difference. Yeah, so free my grandma. I'll break it down for you, brother. So Treasury bonds, bills if they're short term. If they're short term, they're called bills. If they're long term, they're called bonds. And then there's also notes, which I think are somewhere in the middle, right? But basically, they're loaning the U.S. the government money. They're loaning the government money with guaranteed returns, right? Like guaranteed returns. You could track, like I can track TNX, which is 10-year. It's changed. It's some weird symbol now. But I can track TNX, which is 10-year bonds. 10-year bonds currently paying about 4.2%. Right now they're down a little bit. But it's guaranteed returns. Okay, so an example of this, right, is if I invest 100K in Treasury bonds, right now in the 10-year, right, paying out 4.2%. Every year, it's gonna pay me $4,200, or every year it's gonna pay me $4,200 annually in interest payments until maturity date. It's a 10-year bond, which means it matures in 10 years. So it's gonna last for 10 years. So every year for 10 years, it's gonna pay me $4,200, and which over a 10-year period is gonna be roughly, 42% of my investment, right? Of my 100K. And then at the end of that 10-year period, it's gonna give me my 100K back. You know, so in turn, I'm going to profit about 42% from it. But that's over a 10-year period. You know, when you look at how much the stock market pays you. So if I invest 100K into the stock market, and let's be conservative and say the stock market pays me on average 8% a year, right? So, and let's use compounding as well with the stock market, which is another benefit. So let's say, let's do 100,000 times 1.08, which is using compounding, adding 8% a year to it, adding 8% a year on average, right? And again, on good years, it's going to do much more than 8%. Also, I'm going to add to this right now, right at the lows. So we got 3 contracts here. We'll see if we get a bounce there. Right, but over a 10-year period, watch the difference, right? So a 10-year Treasury bond, you're going to make about 42% over 10 years. Let's see how much percentage we're going to earn it on relatively conservative predictions in the S&P 500, index fund. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in the stock market, we're going to earn well over 100%, well over 100%. So we're going to earn about 115,000 in stock market versus $100,000 investment. And so, but there's risks, right? It's not guaranteed by the U.S. government like Treasury bonds are. And so there's pros and cons. The S&P will give you much better returns on average. And it depends on how long you're holding it. If it's long term, your risk is very, very low in investing in the S&P or the NASDAQ. So if it's long term, you're really not risking much investing into the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. Although the implications of the unknown are real. Like anything could happen. If you invest, the market could crash, the market could reverse, the market could turn into a bear market. We could get a long-term bear market that lasts for another 10 years in the S&P. And so there's not no risks. But over a 20-year period of something like that, like over a really long-term period, the risk is very low investing into the S&P. And the returns are obviously much better. Obviously much better than something like Treasury bonds. But again, if you prefer the safety of Treasury bonds, meaning guaranteed returns, like you are going to make that interest every month. They're going to pay you, that 4.2% interest every single month. We're going to go ahead and take a little profit here. We're going to take half or a third of that position off. We now only need about $200 left. We'll go ahead and lock the other half in, and we'll see if we can let this one contract give us that last $250. So I hope that all makes sense, right? I hope there's pros and cons. Bonds guaranteed by the U.S. government, less yield, smaller yield. S&P 500, Dow, NASDAQ, not guaranteed returns, more risk, but much better yields, like much higher yields. And so pros and cons. And so in regards to going back to the TBIL, right, this is just an exchange traded fund that pays your yield, your interest in dividend payments monthly, right? And so if you invest in like the 10-year bond, you're going to get your interest payments. I think it's twice a year if you buy actual T-bills. And so, it depends on how you like it. But in this regard, in the TBIL, you're going to get paid monthly dividends in that situation. So this one looks like it's paying out 4.9%. Is this 4.9% or would it be 0.49%? Let me see. Let me ask ChatGPT. 3-month T-bills paying in yields currently. I'm not really a big bond investor, so if you can't tell. All right, so 5.5%. So yeah, it's about 5% yields in 3-month Treasury bonds. So yeah, it is 5%. So basically, if you see me at the open, I might buy about 30 grand worth of these because I can sell them whenever I want. It's the benefit, right? I might miss out on the yield if I sell early, but I could let these sit for a month and earn, so again, if it's roughly 5% annually divided by 12, which would be the monthly return, it's going to pay me about 0.41%, 0.41% monthly, in dividend payments, right? And so if I invest 30K, it's going to pay me about $126 a month, which isn't bad, to be honest. $126 a month is 120 something, or $126. Like I'll take it. It's better than nothing. If I'm letting 30, 40, however much I'm letting sit here, it's better than nothing. If I double that and invest 60K, it's going to be paying me, 2 something a month. So it's gonna pay me like $250 to a little bit over $250. So that's not bad if you have money that's just sitting and you're not doing anything with it. And so it all depends on your situation. Well, no, I mean, I'm using AI to query things, right? For my programmers, like querying things is what is the huge benefit to AI. Like usually, okay, it goes like this, right? Historically, if I want to query something, if I say, hey, what is this answer? Like in this example, hey, what's the current yield of a 3-month Treasury bill? Right? I would have to type that into Google. And then I would have to search around for a good source, find that source, read whatever it was to get the answer to that question, right? That might take me 5-10 minutes to do. Instead, I can just say, yo, ChatGPT, what's the current yield of the 3-month Treasury bill? And it spits that answer out in about 20 seconds. And so which one am I going to choose to do? Am I going to be stubborn and go old man and just search the internet and take 5 or 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is? Maybe it's less than that. But am I going to do all that to try to find the answer? No. I'm just going to ask ChatGPT and have it query that answer very quickly within 20 seconds. One, it saves time. It saves time. Especially if I'm running a live stream and if I get quiet or silent, people are going to be like, That's the power of AI. That's why AI is big. That's why tech stocks are breaking lifetime highs right now. Is because it allows me to do this much. It saves time. All right, so we've been sitting down here for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and buy this and see if we get. I just need about $300 to hit my goal in this funded account. We got 20 minutes until the market opens. I remember my high school teacher told me I wouldn't be walking around with a calculator. Boy, were they wrong, huh? All right, I gotta cut this. We gotta get out. Again, we still got about $500. Yeah, I'll probably buy this. I'm going to wait until the open just because I don't want to get some weird, strange fill. Although the price is basically... Let me look at the level 2. Okay, I'm actually pretty safe in buying this. Let me see if it'll let me. Okay, there we go. So we just bought 600 shares of the T-bill. It's about 30 grand. I'll let it sit. I got that. I have that in my portfolio that I'm not doing anything with. And so, I'll buy that, let it sit. I don't mind. If it pays me monthly dividends, that's great. Apple. Q. Gonna buy this dip now, see if we get some better action here. All right, so we're going to try to take our risk here. I'm not going to take too much. We're going to see if this retraces back up some. Runs into a wall and bounces. There we go. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there. Ooh. All right, we took half off. Yeah, we're $100 away. We're gonna take the other half off there and let the rest ride. You can see I'm not right about everything, but in terms of like probabilities, we're right more than we're wrong about the direction short term of this. And now we can just basically let this sit, see if it retraces back up. Yeah, here's my graph today. So that's my profit graph. Almost there. Very close. I'm going to add to this one contract here, just one contract, because that'll make it a lot easier for me to hit my target if we just bounce back less. Less than $100 away. All right, so we just go. All right, we're $50 away. Oof. Oh, guys, listen, we are $9 away. $9 away. I'm gonna switch to micro contracts here, just to take the risk off. But yeah, we're basically there, so we'll be funded in this one. But yeah, we're basically there. We'll put micros up. We'll short now, maybe. Well, now we're $30 away. Well, now we're gonna have to cut it. Yeah, now we're $35 away. Ah, it hurts. It hurts. Big rise back up. I'll short it. All right, so we'll add to this and see, and then we'll go back to regular contracts if we need to. See if we can add to this. We just need one good trade now. We got 5 contracts, 6 now. See if we retrace back just a little bit. There we go. All right, we got 14 minutes. If we can hold down here, we should be all right. We're going to let this run some. Just one good trade. Just one more. Yeah. All right, I think that was it. Yeah, we just hit it. All right, there we go. All right, so yeah, we just got funded on this one too. Just to show you, like, it took what, an hour and a half. We made over 53K net. You can see we're at $53,009. So yeah, we switched to micros when we needed a smaller amount. So yeah, we did it. You know, I will take it. I have no idea. Free my grandma. I'm not even going to go into trading T-bill options. That's a different thing, bro. That's not for me right now. No. So it's a 1-day pass right now, far. Yeah, so we're there. We got it. We'll get the login for our funded account today. Probably. All right, chat. And you can kind of see, like, we're not right on everything, right? But we were correct most of the time. Like, here's our graph to get funded. We weren't right on everything. And the P&L is not exact. Like, this graph is a little off. But we were correct enough to, you know, again, our win-loss ratio is 3.44 to 1. So, out of every, I think this, let me see. Yeah, so 5.52. Now, I'm wondering, so the yield right now is for 3-month Treasury bills. Mid-June was 5.52%. I'm wondering why these T-bills only have 4.95 or 4.99%. Yeah, no, that's why I said I thought I thought here, I'm gonna switch this account. So now that I'm funded here, I'm gonna switch to a different one. Yeah. Alright. No, so retail sales going down, I'm pretty sure the market fears inflation, and so less retail sales signals less inflation problems, as well as the other thing about it is like less inflation problems signals more of a likelihood of a rate cut, and so more likelihood that we're going to cut rates. But again, it varies and it depends. There's a lot of ifs. So it's bad in our Discord sending me things talking about how judo is better than jujitsu. Listen, okay, listen. I got a couple different like viewpoints of this. So in my jujitsu gym, we got this black belt in judo. He's a Korean guy, really nice guy. So he showed up, right? And both in gi and no gi, him and I would roll, right? Like him and I would roll. And he's never tapped me out once. I have tapped him out countless amounts of times. And now, like, you got to look at it a couple different ways. The first way is, just because I tap him out at the gym doesn't mean, like, in terms of if we ever got into a street fight, it would go different. And it might, you know, again, people in judo, judo is a throwing martial art, a takedown martial art, where you use mostly a gi to throw people. The problem with that is that people don't wear gis in real life. Unless you're fighting a man in a suit with a jacket, it's not going to be very much like, it's not like that at all. And so when him and I roll in no gi, which is my favorite, I love no gi, it's even, the skill level and is more of a disparity there, you know? So judo's great. It's not the most effective martial art because most people aren't wearing gis out on the street. The closest thing you come to a gi on the street is a suit. And most people that want to fight you aren't in suits. They're wearing t-shirts and stuff. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be much harder. So in that regard, I would argue jiu-jitsu's better in that way than judo is. Because, again, most people are not wearing suits or gis in real life. But again, it does depend on a lot of different things. He's really good. If he gets if he can pass my guard and get into side control, he's really good. He can hold that side control. He does this weird thing where he basically, like, it's very hard to get out of. But still, you know, it's just different. No, I'm one of the top 3 worst white belts ever in the world right now. For sure, definitely top 3 worst white belts ever. Yeah, Pereira versus Hiri Burkaska. Yeah, I mean, Hiri is in trouble, dude. I don't know. Pereira's fighting pretty soon, though. That's a problem as well. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys, we got 7 minutes. Trading T-bill options. Yeah, I'm definitely not trading treasury bill options. I have no idea what that would even do or how you would even do that. Palantir holding. Yeah, Palantir's up this week. So Palantir PLTR is up. Up to $25 a share. I'm in it right now too. I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, sorry. I'm talking to my wife, Carol. Carol's here.
Morning.
Yeah. It's going all right. That's my current portfolio. So I'm up. It's not bad.
Yeah.
We're down a little bit on the day, but any predictions on Tesla? Yeah, Carol's here. Yeah, so market, here's the Q, this is the NASDAQ. So the market is big day yesterday, green day. Market's been breaking lifetime highs mostly from AI, you know. Like, remember the doo-doo choo-choo, you know?
Yeah, oh my goodness. It's crazy what they can do.
Honestly, it really is, yeah.
Hey, Fawn. Morning. Oh, yeah, I believe
One lucky gal. Yeah, listen,
Uh-huh.
you know. Top 3 wives ever right here. Definitely one of my top 3 wives ever. I gotta say it. I'm sorry. Red or green day for GameStop. Yeah, GameStop slowed down a little bit. The problem with GameStop is, what is GameStop gonna do? I'm in it. I want it to go up, but what is it gonna do? Like, nobody buys physical copies of video games anymore, so it's gotta redo its business in some way.
everything's going digital.
Yeah, for sure. Everything is. And so the problem with GameStop is that it still sells physical copies of video games. And so that business is going to run dry within 5 or 10 years. It's probably within less than that. It already probably has. So unless we get a new console coming out, like a completely new console coming out, you know, I don't know what it's going to do.
Hey, Daphne. Morning.
Yeah, she's like really into German Shepherds.
Oh, yeah.
You can see.
Yeah.
Just like us. Like, we're into German Shepherds too.
Yeah, they're great. I mean,
Yeah. Rosie's just the greatest dog.
I know.
Bruce is cool too, but Rosie's just the greatest dog ever. I hate playing
special.
favorites. Yeah.
Well, Bruce is, even though Bruce isn't as like affectionate, he just wants to play and he wants to run. Rosie
Yeah.
wants like affection.
Rosie's
Like,
just sweet.
you know, she wants affection and attention.
Yeah. Rosie's got her own emoji.
Ah,
Yeah. Look.
look at that.
Yeah.
That's so funny. You gotta make one of Bruce.
I know. I do have to make one of Bruce. Bruce has allergies though, so Bruce's face is all peely.
Yeah, he struggles. Like something on his like face and on his neck, and it causes him to lose hair and get flaky, and then it'll heal, and it just takes time. But
Yeah. All right, baby. But look, the opening bell's in like a minute.
okay.
All right. I love you.
Good luck, guys. Morning.
Yeah.
So, all right, baby. I
All
love
right.
you.
Love you. All right. Yeah, we got the opening bell in 1 minute, guys. We got to focus here. We got to focus. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell if you haven't yet. We appreciate it. Yeah, our German Shepherds are just the greatest dogs ever. I told Carol, like, when Carol's allergic, so when it came time for her to get a dog, when she came to me and she was like, hey, I think we could get a dog. She was like, what kind of dog you want to get? I was like, a German Shepherd for sure. Like, without question, we're getting a German Shepherd. Because they're the perfect mix of, like, loving family dogs, but they will eat your face off if you hurt us, you know? And so they're the perfect dog. Anyways, 30 seconds, chat, 30 seconds. All right, here we go. 15 seconds. All right. And ding, 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 guys. There is the bell. Yeah, for sure, they're cool dogs. All right, so NASDAQ is down here. We did get funded in our other account this morning. Yeah, no, GameStop's got a lot of cash. They've got the chance to do something, you know, but they've got to do something. They can't stay like this for too long, is the point, right? Like, they got to do something. They can't stay stagnant and not do anything for too long. They have to pivot. They have to I mean, I think they should create a plan first, of course, but they can't just sit here and not change anything and act like everything is fine, because it's not. They might have a lot of cash, but they don't make that much money. Their margins are bad. All right, so look at this big bounce up in the NASDAQ. NASDAQ and the Q bouncing all the way back up here. We can look at GameStop. GameStop's flat. Q bouncing up some. I don't know what I want to do with this. We're gonna short. These are micros, so I don't want to. Yeah, we're running into some major levels here, which is good. There we go. So these are micro contracts. If you want to know, like, we are trading micros, so we're much smaller size. There we go. All right, so there we go. We built up a little cushion here. I gotta switch to the regulars though. This is too small a size. I was doing this because I wanted to get that last little piece of funding in. Like, I had to make over 3K. See, the NASDAQ is weird right now though. Like, look, the only way I've gotten the NASDAQ to work is going all the way down to this one here. There we go. We'll add to this. Boom. Boom. All right, so you can kind of see the difference there, right? So one we made 168 bucks, the other one we made 40. Yeah, the talk yesterday did not help. I didn't end up streaming it, but yeah, didn't help. Again, the other markets, the other sponsor I have is a company called Chart Prime. It's a trading view indicator service you can use in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. Really, really nice. Really, really useful. And ultimately allows you to kind of see where a lot of good edge is. I use Chart Prime. You can use it with anything with a symbol on TradingView, anything with a symbol. I always try to back test it live so you can see like live back testing on it. Because again, when you look at this, like, look, here's the last day of basically the last day of action here. And you can test it, like, look. So sell signal, nice follow through bounce. This one was probably wrong. Look at this sell signal here though, beautiful dump. Strong buy signal showed up here, and then we got this huge rip from it. Sell signal showed up here, and you got a nice little follow through from it. And so out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 was wrong. 4 out of 5, that's 80% accuracy. And again, I can't fake this. I can't guarantee it's gonna work either. You know, back test it yourself. All that good stuff. But again, like, look at the strong signals here, and look at how impressive these can be. Like, look, sell signal drop. Look at this strong signal. Literally showed up right at the bottom. You know, so if we add this one here too, that's 5 out of 6. That works. This sell signal worked too. Nice little follow through. So like, back test it yourself. You can use it with anything with a symbol. I can use Tesla here and do the same thing on Tesla. See what's going on with Tesla. Again, it's not always going to work. You want to back test it yourself. This is called the Market Oracle on Chart Prime. It's only 40 bucks a month. So anything with a symbol on TradingView, you can use it. Again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money. Let me redo this one here. Anything with a symbol on TradingView, you can use it. You can see it shows you like these rising wedge patterns and all that stuff. Look at this sell signal that showed up way earlier in pre-market. Like way earlier in pre-market. This thing showed up way back here. And then look at the huge follow through that you've gotten from it. And so again, it can be powerful. Any time frame as well. I can put it on an hourly time frame and see if it works. It's not always going to work. So you got to find time frames, stocks, symbols that it works on, and then attack it when it's working is the way you do it. But again, like, look at this. This is honestly impressive as well. Like, look. So look at this buy signal way down here. Huge rip. Sell signal here. Nice little breakdown. This is an hourly. So every candle represents an hour. So look at that. Nice little follow through there as well. Look at this strong one. Can y'all see that? Let me make sure you can see that. So the hourly one looks impressive too. Yeah, y'all can see that. Look at this strong one, and then look at the huge follow through from it. And so it's genuinely impressive. It's like $40. Again, they're a sponsor. They pay me money. I'm biased because they pay me money. But again, I was always kind of skeptical of these programs until I checked them out, and I was impressed. I was impressed. Here's the link if you want to check them out. Yeah, they need to close stores that aren't producing, 100%. That's what they need to do. GameStop down to 2380s. Q's moving up a little bit higher though, so we're slightly green on the day actually now, so that's cool. Okay, wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. Wait. Question here. Okay, question. For those that invest in TBIL and associated symbols and tickers, okay, what I'm reading here is the declaration date of the last dividend from TBIL was May 31st. The record date was June 3rd, and the payment date was June 4th. Okay, so am I getting this wrong, or does this mean that I could literally buy TBIL June 2nd and get paid on June 4th? That doesn't make sense. Or I'm sure what it probably means, I'm assuming here, is that the record date for the next dividend payment is June 3rd, that they're going to pay in July? Maybe. It's got to be that, right? Because it wouldn't make any sense, because if not, people could just kind of arbitrage it and buy TBIL before the 3rd and then sell it immediately after June 4th in 2 days and profit of whatever percentage that is and move. I mean, unless that's possible. If that's possible, let me know. Let me ask AI. This is another AI question, I think. All right, guys. Market's stagnating a little bit here after moving up some at the opening bell. We'll see if it continues. Let me ask AI. Let's see how good AI really is here. I'm going to take a picture of this site. Save test of AI. On this page, it says the record date for the Treasury bill ETF T-bill is 6/03/2024, and the payment date is 6/04/2024. Does this mean I could buy it before June 2nd and get paid only let's test AI here. All right, so market's completely turning, breaking down the lows. Chart prime is not free. Water is wet. So it does say this is true. I don't know, man. It does. So this is what AI says. Okay. Which is interesting here. It really is. So like this is what AI says regarding T-bill. So I sent it a picture of the page. All right. And you can kind of see what I sent it right here. I said on this page it says the record date for the Treasury bill ETF T-bill is 6/3 and payment date is 6/4. Does this mean I could buy it before June 2nd and get paid the dividend? I misspelled it. Only a few days later. Yes, you could receive the dividend if you buy the ETF before the ex-dividend date. The ex-dividend date for T-bill is 6/3, means you need to own the shares before this date to be eligible. If you purchase the shares on or after, you will not receive it. The record date is 6/3. This is the date the company reviews its records to determine which shareholders are eligible to receive it. The payment date is 6/4, the date when the dividend is actually paid to eligible shareholders. In summary, if you buy T-bill on or before the 2nd, you'll be eligible to receive the dividend payment on the 4th. So that means I could just buy it, hold it for 2 days, get the dividend, and sell? If that's the case, I might just sell now and then buy it, freaking July 1st or whatever it is. Get the dividend and then sell again, so it's not wasting my liquidity every day. All right, guys. Q turning, going low, under 485s. No, John, there's a pay date and it usually is not in 2 days. It takes longer. Yeah, that's what I would assume. And what I'm assuming is the more reasonable explanation is that people who want to get paid the dividend, what I assume is the more reasonable explanation is that people that want to get paid, that this is the payment date for holders in May. So this is the payment date for these guys. Versus, or for these guys, I mean, right? That would make more sense, no? So, like, that it's going to pay June 4th, or it paid June 4th the people who are on record as of May 2nd, right? That would make more actual sense. So, all right, market's testing lows, breaking down here. This looks weak. Alright, guys, remember the market is closed tomorrow, chat. The price will adjust for the divvy. I don't think the price adjusted for the divvy. It looks like the price adjusts for the yield, but like if the yield goes up or down, the price adjusts for it for TBIL. But I don't think, like, if you look at, my point is, if you look at a chart like this, market's very flat today too. It could be because this is what I bought. Like, look, I'm currently holding 600 shares of this, right? Roughly 30 grand. And so in theory, if I hold this for a month, in theory, right, if I hold this for a month, the yield is about 5% annually divided by 12, right? So if I hold this for a month, I should get 0.41%, 0.41%. And so if I got 30 grand, we'll call it 0.42, then I should make $126 a month if my math is right, which I think it is, right? Like if my math is correct, then I will make $126 in dividend payments monthly based off of this. And the fluctuations long-term in price that you can kind of see here are more so from the yield changing than the dividend payments paying out. So this looks pretty flat, and this looks like the adjusting from the yield getting up to 5% to the yield falling below 4.98%. But again, I might be wrong. I don't know for sure. Like I said, I'm just trying to figure it out myself. Yeah. Yeah, futures are a half day tomorrow. The stock market is completely closed tomorrow, chat. So completely closed. I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. So hey, y'all be good. I love you all. You'll have a great day. Again, if you haven't already, check out Apex if you want to get funded. We did get funded on an account earlier. We made $3 grand in profit. You can see my profit graph from this earlier. So again, Apex gives you a demo and they test your skill with the demo account first. If you pass the test with the demo, they fund you the same amount. This is a 50K account, so I passed this one. They're going to give me 50K in funding with a 90% split, and this account only costs about what, like 40 or 50 bucks if you use my coupon code BT. The sale, guys, so they give you a demo, they test your skill. The sale ends today though, so the sale ends, you can see it here. So this is the 50K challenge. You get 90% off if you use my link. It's roughly like 50 bucks, but the sale ends in 15 hours, 14 hours. Again, Apex is one of the most legit. It's a great way to learn day trading with limited risk. If you lose, it's not the end of the world. You only lose, like, the base one, you lose like 45 bucks. For the time being, you can also get the 250K challenge for the same price. So like 40 something bucks for the 250K challenge. And if you pass it, you get 250K in funding with a 90% split. If you lose it, you're out less than 50 bucks. And again, Apex is one of the most legit. They pay out millions. They've almost paid out 200 million since 2022. They pay out an average monthly of over 11 million. Great way to learn how to day trade. Most day traders lose. You know, they're a sponsor of mine. They pay me money, but most day traders lose. So this is just limiting that risk. But if you're good enough, you get funding. If you're not good enough, you lose less than you would putting the money up yourself. Again, if you want to check them out, here's the link. And yeah, have a great day, guys. We'll see you guys later.